What the fuck is happening, fam? It is your boy, the Sultan of Sativa, the Ayatollah of Indica, aka the Bobby Fischer BHO, aka Ned Sparks, aka the Hickson of Hash, aka the Gordon Ryan of Ganj, aka Ned Sparks, aka Willie the Cool Penguin, aka Abraham Lincoln, aka Donald Blunt, aka Lord Baltimore. And I'm here with another brand new episode of Let's Talk About It. And we're here, man. Rocking and rolling. This is a big fucking day, man. First of all, I'm sorry for the delays on a couple of these things. The Noel episode, if you went and checked it out on YouTube, thank you. It is finally available everywhere the fuck else. So please go check it out. Go watch it on YouTube. Go listen to it. You could stream it now everywhere the podcasts are played. Noelle is a very good friend of mine, and that was her first podcast ever, and she did great. It was wonderful, and it was cool to talk about all the shit that we did, like being in a cult, having family that's crazy, being a parent in this fucking wild world. I mean, goddamn, it's like, that's the first time I've had a woman on the old potty in a while. It was good. It was good. Who was the last one? Was it Nyambe Tosh? If you never checked that one out, Nyambe Tosh, Peter Tosh's daughter, definitely worth the listen. You know, her brother was locked up in jail, and he was fucking killed. It was a goddamn bummer, that's for sure. 69. I have my man Baker. We talked about 75 Hard, some of his story. I have an episode from 9/11 that, like, for some reason won't process. If and when it does, it will be uploaded. And sorry there wasn't one sooner. Life happens, man. Sometimes I live my real life. And, you know, unfortunately, the podcast has not brought me a lot of dollars, which is fine because I love doing it. I love interacting with you guys. I love sharing my experiences, the shit I have going on. One day, maybe my kids will listen to this when they're of adult listening age, and they can fucking handle it. And all of these samples will give the AI plenty of stuff to use for when my kids want to relive my memories in the dystopian landscape. They could really get a real deal, authentic sample. It's going to be bad when they deep fake some shit and end up getting taken out as a domestic extremist, which I am not. I assure you. I'm not a conservative. I've always considered myself liberal. I'm liberal. Sorry, bro, I'm a libtard. Like, conservatives think we're tight. Libtards think we're tight. I have some friends who are democratic socialists, aka commies. It's what it is. You know, they also identify as leftists. But if you have anybody that fucking calls himself a leftist or a lefty or a democratic socialist, what they mean is they like communism, but they haven't read anything on communism or how it works, apparently, because if they did, they would know that it is not a very good system for furthering life and civilizations. They're like, yeah, but in 1700 Sweden, we're not in fucking 1700 Sweden, you dumb fuck. God damn it, dude. What type of shit is this? I don't even know where I was going with that. If this is your first time listening to the show, thank you. Thank you. If this is your 72nd episode of the show, fucking congratulations, dude. You're a part of an elite crew of most likely men, maybe one they, them, or a woman. And you guys are the shit. You guys are the fucking shit, all of you. And that's why we're going into 2024 starting now, you know? Big shit on my fucking radar. Starting it off strong. If this is your first time, welcome. This podcast, I don't really run ads. I would appreciate if you would share this shit because I'm constantly getting my traffic throttled all the way down. It has been in that location. They threw me in the dungeon and left me to die. I've been on a shadow ban. When you click on my Instagram, if you can find me, I think I pop up now. At least if you turn on notifications, I sometimes do. I believe last time I checked, it says there's a little pop-up bubble that pops up and it says, Lord Baltimore has been known to share misinformation. Are you sure you want to follow? And you have to click OK, follow. And then make sure that you have to say that. They want one last opportunity for you to fucking back out and be like, nah, I ain't following this fucking fool. But why do you think they would be doing that if the shit that I was saying didn't have some semblance of validity? You know, by some semblance of validity, I mean I don't fucking miss. By some semblance of validity, I mean pretty much everything I've been saying since the beginning of 2020 has just been coming out. And honestly, I've been trying to avoid looking at any of this Gaza shit. You know, I see the type of division it's causing. I see what my commie friends are posting. I see what what everyone else is posting. And I just think people got shit all fucked up. These people control the language to where we can't fuck it. You say one thing, but it means something else. People don't know what the fuck they mean when they're talking anymore. You have to clarify every fucking thing because everything is so like subjective and nothing is objective. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. This is some 1984 ass bullshit. I can't fucking deal, you know. The Let's Talk About It podcast. You know, while I had a couple of guests, I'm getting ready to have fucking dude, my man, Chad Wright. And I'm not going to unveil the nickname that I gave him beyond Lore C. Obviously, you can have Lore C, you know that. But the one I got already lined up, fucking in the magazine, ready to go, cocked, locked, and loaded, I'm not giving it to you right now. You got to wait for that. You got to wait till me and Chad actually sit down next week. This shit is fucking, it's going to be sick, dude. Yeah, I'm writing out some shit. I'm doing my research. I'm trying to be squared the fuck away and prepared because this man is taking some time out of his day. And for me, this is like, I'm elevating into another level. For him, he's bringing us common folk up. Like, it truly is an honor. This man really has helped reshape some things in my brain and help me dig deep within myself to some levels I didn't know were possible. And, you know, some valuable tools and lessons learned. And we're going to dive into all that shit, man, from the ROP course to some of his time in the SEAL teams. I'm sure we'll touch on the creed, the importance of having one. And, you know, we're going to do the damn thing, man. Me and him are going to fucking bang it out. And, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice, man. This is for America. This is for fucking the world. This is for any person that listens to this fucking podcast. You know, I went and hiked 45 miles straight in 24 hours with this dude with a fucking torn meniscus or MCL, one of them, medial tendon, patella tendon, I don't know, something. With this dude and his crew, the 307 Project, so that I could get to a point that he would be willing to do an episode of Let's Fucking Talk About It and share it with you. So I'd really appreciate when we do this fucking episode, man, that y'all are in the habit of sharing that shit. Please. That's all I'm going to say on it. A little housekeeping, get it out the way. For those who like edible, get you some Everyday Earthling, man. If you like hash, get you some Budsmith. I will get more into that later. But yes, welcome, family, to the Let's Talk About It podcast. Right now, I'm fired up, man. I was talking to Baker, discussing this Chad Wright situation. This is big, man. This is big. He don't want to be on any podcast. He wants to do Let's Talk About It, man. He wants to sit down with the homie. And I've been thinking about some shit, man. I've been brewing some shit in the old noggin. Him and I talked about doing it last week. He told me to hit him up. Hit him up. Goddamn, that man's not a man of his word. Which is rare these days. How often do we find people who are, who say one thing but do another? Just don't hold up their end. Spend time fucking doing the opposite of trying to accomplish the mission. Sabotaging it, if you will. Intentionally or unintentionally. At a conscious level or subconscious. Unconscious, if you will. Yeah, I get like more and more stressed out about some of this shit. Honestly, on the day-to-day, I feel great. I feel fucking great, man. I've been living my life. I put in my fucking, for those of you who don't know, I was doing 75 Hard, the world's premier mental toughness program, of which I've completed multiple times. Have completed phase 1 and phase 2 of the Live Hard program, getting ready to hop on phase 3 of the Live Hard program, December 3rd. Phase 3 on the 3rd, baby. Not only is 33 a Masonic number, it's important to them motherfuckers. It's the year when Jesus died. 33 was the year that it wasn't a year that anything happened. I don't think. Maybe my daughter was born. I don't know. Maybe not. No, that was 2018, which is 5 years ago now. 3 times 3, 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. 1 plus 8 is 9. No, my birthday is the 18th. 6/18. 6. 2 3s. 3 times 2. 18. 3 times 6. 3 and a 3. 3 times 3, 9. Are you getting it? Are you fucking getting it? Okay. December 3rd. This is my fucking day, man. This is gonna be my day to get shit started. I will complete phase 3. I'm already working on it. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing these things for it, which I've done a lot of already. Phase 1 included a bunch of these things, but the main difference is that there's an added pressure of you can't fail it and then just restart. If you fail it, that's it. It's a wrap. I'm in uncharted territories, but I believe in myself. This is my year, man. This is my fucking year. Yeah, I just did 75 Hard because they were doing a competition, a little contest. Your boy sent in his progress pics, the before and after. I sent in a 1,500-word essay, equipped with some grammatical errors. I should have fucking not gone normal first draft mode and first to final draft mode. I should have done some more spell checks, peer reviews, and got it in on time. But you know what? I did it. I fucking busted it out from the heart, and I said, let's fucking go. That's it. Send. That's it. It's in God's hands now. Although my visualization, you can go back to, I think it's episode 61, 60 or 61. And I talk about visualization. I've talked about it since as well, but it is very important. And my visualization ends with me wearing a tinfoil hat, doing my own episode of the Real AF podcast with Andy Frisella. And, it's coming, man. It's fucking coming. And getting him on Let's Talk About It podcast. I'm coming up on episode 75. You need to hit that motherfucker up. You need to tell him. Fuck with the Lord, dude. Get on episode 75. 75 Hard. Great place to talk about the Live Hard program. That's what we do. We talk about it. We toke about it. I don't know if this fool will smoke some weed on my podcast. I would love if he did. But, some people are funny about who they do that in front of or are willing to show. I don't know. Fuck it. I don't wish to follow a trend. I just set the motherfucking trends. I'm not an influencer. I'm just a man of influence. You say, LB, how do you do that? Well, I just keep it fucking real the whole time. So I wanted to follow up. I got a couple of articles I want to go through. Shit, I haven't really seen very many people talk about. So I'm going to talk about it. A family of Massachusetts cannabis worker who died at the job from an asthma attack files a lawsuit. The asthma attack, they're saying, was the issue. Was the lady died in a Trulieve grow room, she was like making fucking some dusty ass Trulieve pre-rolls, and she just died, dude. She fucking died. I don't know if she was vaccinated. I forget when this had happened. It happened in 2022. She was having trouble breathing. She was having an upper respiratory issue. NBC 10 Boston had previously reported on the death of Lorna McMurray, 27, who died inside Trulieve's state-licensed marijuana facility in Holyoke, having trouble breathing on January 4th, 2020. The family of a woman who died last year at a licensed marijuana facility in Massachusetts, the country's first reported occupational asthma death at the cannabis production facility, has filed a lawsuit alleging negligence, recklessness, and misconduct against the facility and the people who worked on its HVAC system. My God. Thirsty as a bitch. Lorna McMurray's family filed the wrongful death suit in Hampden County Superior Court, according to her lawyers. They said in a news release Tuesday the 27-year-old rolled marijuana products in a room at Trulieve's Holyoke facility. She rolled up that come on, man. She rolled up marijuana products in the room at Trulieve's Holyoke facility where, quote, cannabis dust and mold from the cannabis covered workers from head to toe. Damn, yo, MD Dabber, if you're listening, tune in, brother. I'm going to repeat that. Quote, cannabis dust and mold from the cannabis dust and mold from the cannabis covered workers from head to toe. Dude, this is like scary stories you tell in the dark. She was 27. Rolling marijuana products in the facility room. In the facility where cannabis dust and mold from the cannabis-covered workers from head to toe. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make a joke. Lorna and Lorna's family. I'm sorry, please don't take it personal. It's just entertainment. And pass the knowledge. People learn from jokes, goddammit. You're saying that cannabis dust and mold covered the employees from head to toe. Head to fucking toe. How does that even work, dude? How do you have so much mold that the shit's covering you from head to toe? And the operators failed to minimize risk to employees from the airborne dust and mold. McMurray died in January 2020. McMurray collapsed inside Trulieve's production building after having trouble breathing. Her mother, Laura Bruno, has told NBC 10 Boston investigators she received a text from her daughter just after 12:30 p.m. on January 4th that said she was having trouble breathing and walking at the same time. She told her daughter she was on her way to Trulieve, but when she arrived, first responders were already treating McMurray and put her in an ambulance. According to reports obtained by NBC 10's Boston investigators, emergency crews responded to a report that a person was in cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest? Whoa. Asthma attack went from asthma? I thought it was an asthma attack. Cardiac. Bruno says McMurray was on life support at Bay State Medical Center for 4 days. Her death certificate shows she died after going into cardiac and respiratory arrest from a presumed severe asthma attack. Presumed. It's not very definite to me. 327, family calls for a change after death of worker. Family calls for change after death of a worker at Holyoke cannabis facility. Tragic death inside the state licensed facility is being called the first of its kind in the industry. Federal health and officials illustrates missed opportunities for prevention, including workplace exposures, medical surveillance, and treatment according to the current asthma guidelines. Do they have it on tape? Federal report states that as allergic diseases such as asthma are a growing concern in the U.S. cannabis industry, which has grown rapidly in recent years, thanks to a wave of state-level legislations. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, full of crap as they are, published the report, which it said represented findings of a federal occupational and OSHA inspection that included a worksite exposure assessment, coworker and next of kin interviews, medical record interviews, and collaboration with the Mass Department of Public Health. McMurray's family lawsuit alleges that McMurray had another asthma attack at work that required hospitalization about 2 months before her one that led to her death, and that Trulieve was aware of this incident but took no steps to protect Lorna following her collapse while inside the facility. NBC 10 Boston has reached out to Trulieve for comment on the lawsuit, and they announced this summer it was ceasing operations in Massachusetts. They said, we had somebody die, the first person to ever die in a cannabis facility. That's it, we're done. We spent millions of dollars here to be a company. We're done. See you guys later. That's crazy. Is that not crazy? Does that seem wild? Because to me, that seems weird. The company had previously told NBC 10 Boston that PPE was available on site to all employees and that air quality tested throughout the facility during the OSHA inspection tested well below acceptable ranges. More on the death of Lorna McMurray. Cannabis company fined, just in case you forgot, $14,000 in 14.5. It's actually 14,502. I don't know why I didn't just say that from the beginning. Trulieve announced the settlement a few days before Christmas, saying the agreement will result in additional health and safety protections for Trulieve workers at its cannabis manufacturing facilities, according to a news release from the corporation. Damn, I'm still blown away that these fools said they were just no longer going to operate in Massachusetts. Quite the interesting situation. You know, I mean, everywhere I've ever been in a grow, I feel like they got fucking surveillance. They are fucking watching you. It always feels like somebody's watching me. Straight up. If you've never been to a grow, that's what the fuck it feels like. I just really can't believe Trulieve has decided to cease operations, man. They're actually all systems go, full steam ahead down in Florida, which is good. You know, now they're gonna do the same shit that they do. Real quick. So I don't really believe in like the China hype. You know, I think these crises are all manufactured. I mean, you look at the UN, it's all these countries are still tight with each other and a part of the UN. So they represent the same types of agendas. To me, the rest of it's WWF, man. But I was just like, I was looking at a thing talking about 15-minute cities in China, getting ready to start one up where they're going to be taking a bunch of people from Beijing, bringing them to Zhanhuan or something, and it's going to be able to hold 4 million people. 4 million? Crazy. We'll have like an absurd amount of surveillance cameras, billboards. I don't know if you've ever seen that shit, but like if you jaywalk, the camera will like flash on you and it'll like fucking embarrass you. The shit is crazy, man. They really want to control everything. And when I was looking at this, trying to find a good version of the article, which I only found on End Times headlines, and I mean, it's one thing to like check out their shit, it's another to like utilize it as the only source. So I've got to. Instead, I hopped on Wikipedia because when I was looking for it, one thing that popped me up was some shit about mass surveillance in China. And I'm just going to read to you an excerpt. Let's just see. Mass surveillance in the People's Republic of China is a network of monitoring systems used by the Chinese central government to monitor Chinese citizens. It is primarily conducted through the government, although corporate surveillance is in connection with the Chinese government has been reported to occur. China monitors the citizens through internet surveillance, camera surveillance, and through other digital technologies. It has become increasingly widespread and grown in sophistication under General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party Xi Jinping's administration of 2016, and with the help of local companies like Tencent, Dahua, I don't know if that's right, Technology, Hikvision, SenseTime, BitDance, Megvii, Huawei, ZTE, among many others. As of 2019, it is estimated that 200 million monitoring CCTV cameras of the, quote, Skynet system have been put to use in mainland China, 4 times the number of surveillance cameras in the United States. By 2020, the number of surveillance cameras in mainland China is expected to reach 626 million. The coronavirus pandemic has accelerated the implementation of mass surveillance as it has provided a plausible pretext to do so. What? So, this is shit that I've been talking about this entire time about how we are at risk of a totalitarian one world government takeover. And would you look at that? Even on Wikipedia. First of all, can we talk about how their surveillance systems are called Skynet? Where's John Connor? Where's Arnold? Because I'm getting fucking concerned. Where's the bitch that played Edward Furlong's mom? But the fact that it really says at the end of that statement, the coronavirus pandemic has accelerated the implementation of mass surveillance as it has provided a plausible pretext to do so. It's plausible, so we're just going to shut the shit down. Shut the fuck up. How about that? God damn. And this is scroll down a little bit. You can see also internet in China, supercomputing in China. In 2005, the Chinese government created a mass surveillance system called Skynet. The government revealed Skynet's existence in 2013, by which time the network included over 20 million cameras. In addition to monitoring the general public, cameras were installed outside mosques in the Xi Jinping region, temples, Tibet, and the homes of dissidents. Chinese government encouraged the use of various mobile phone apps as part of a broader surveillance push. Local regulators launched mobile apps for national security purposes to allow citizens to report violations. Dude, this shit is so crazy. Skynet, though. Like, I just don't understand. As of 2019, it is estimated that 200 million monitoring CCTV cameras of the, quote, Skynet system have been put into mainland China, 4 times as many surveillance cameras in the U.S. State media in China claim that Skynet is the largest video surveillance system in the world, utilizing facial recognition technology and big data analysis. Dude, this is nuts. I feel like the guy that wrote this is the dude who this is talking about. I don't think it is. It could just be like the light angle. The origin of mass surveillance in China emerged during the Maoist era. That shit is crazy. And we're back. So with some of this Skynet bullshit, what is there to even like do? What do you do? They got 4 times as much surveillance as the U.S. We're just fucking talking about some real deal ability to control people and manipulate them based on all of this shit. We self-censor, which is horrible. I mean, I get there's times where it's appropriate, no question. But we must find ways to thrive through this shit. Did I have anything else? Oh, I did. Damn. This, okay, this isn't that bad. This is an article from The Guardian. Kind of want to dive back into, remember how I was right? I do. Pepperidge Farm does. This is what it is, man. Oh, I need some fucking eye drops, man. My eyes feel like they're about to bleed. So this is an article from The Guardian. UK scientists find the link between proteins related to blood clots and long COVID. So, they're still quietly dropping shit. I guess now they're finally admitting that blood clots are legit. Like, I remember reading about the fucking died suddenly blood clots a couple years ago. Like, 2021 still. 2022 maybe. And then Died Suddenly came out, which if you didn't watch it, you should absolutely go watch it. And the shit they're saying was absolutely fucking terrifying. If you haven't seen these blood clots, they're not really blood clots, but it's obstructing the pathways, so it's technically clot. I'm going to dive in here. Scientists have identified molecular signatures in the blood that are linked to brain fog, other cognitive problems, and fatigue in patients who are diagnosed with long COVID after catching the virus. Raised levels of two different proteins were more common in people who developed long COVID symptoms that affected their brains, the researchers found. Both are hallmarks of blood clots in the body and likely cause of the symptoms reported. The work described as, quote, an important step forward, end quote, by one independent expert, bolsters thinking that emerged in the height of the pandemic that COVID leaves some patients with tiny clots in their lungs and potentially in their brain, leading to a wide range of long-term memory, concentration, and thinking problems. The findings could prove useful if critical trials such as Stimulate, ICP, which are testing the range of treatments for long COVID, conducting the anticoagulants, can improve brain fog and fatigue in some patients. Testing patients' blood protein levels could alert doctors to those who should be treated for clots early and those who are less at risk. The researchers looked at blood proteins in more than 1,800 hospitalized COVID patients and found that at the time of infection, those who went on to develop long-lasting cognitive problems were more likely than others to have raised levels of a protein called fibrinogen, or a protein fragment called D-dimer. High levels of fibrinogen are a sign of blood clots in the body. According to Max Toke, an author on the study at the University of Oxford, patients could have blood clots in the brain that cause cognitive problems, or fibrinogen itself could be affecting the brain. Raised levels of D-dimer also signify blood clots in the body, but patients with high concentrations of the protein also tend to have post-COVID fatigue and breathlessness, leading to the researchers that suspect blood clots on the lungs, which can reduce blood flow to the brain and also cause fatigue. Interesting. Individuals with elevated D-dimer levels were not only more prone to brain fog, but also displayed a heightened risk of respiratory challenges, Toke said. Danny Altman, a professor of immunology at the Imperial College for London, was leading a long COVID experiment, said, this is an important step for our understanding of the stratification of long COVID and potentially some of the underlying mechanisms. They argue the case in support of possible input from effects on clotting pathways. While blood clot tends to look for raised levels of the protein, could help doctors flag COVID patients most likely to develop brain fog, and other long COVID symptoms. The biomarkers will not spot all patients at risk. Real healthcare is needed, said Dr. Michael Zandi, UCL's Queen Square Institute of Neurology. The association should not give us yet a clear one-size-fits-all mechanism, The treatments need to pass through rigorous clinical trials first. That's a lie. Look at the fucking COVID vaccine. That shit didn't go through rigorous clinical trials. That bivalent booster, I believe they tested it on like 6 mice. Pretty sure all 6 of them died. Chris Brayling, professor of respiratory medicine at the University of blah blah and co-author on the latest study, he feared long COVID patients might not receive the attention they need. What I'm still disappointed in is that we're a lot of patients to that who are suffering, who haven't fully recovered, and we don't know how long it will take for them to recover or whether they will need treatment. We are now in a situation where COVID is in competition with all the other needs of the healthcare system, meaning there's a risk patients with long COVID will not have the attention that is required because this condition that is still not going away. Allman added, most patients feel as if they have less and less support and negligible access to treatment options. Yeah, man, we need some fucking treatment options. We need people who are not cucking for Big Pharma, like every fucking industry on the planet is. They want you to believe there's a magic pill. I'm here to tell you that there fucking isn't. Bonkshmore out.